Thousands of firefighters are battling several large wildfires across Colorado as thousands of Coloradans in a growing number of counties are forced out of their homes. The most destructive wildfire, the Aspen Acres fire, has now burned more than 150 square miles. That is nearly the size of Aurora. The Pueblo County Sheriff's Office released some new drone footage of damage in and around Beulah. Nearly 200 homes have been destroyed there, and the survey of the damage continues. Another 83 homes burned in Custer County.
North Metro Fire will join the firefighting efforts in southern Colorado tomorrow morning. The department is sending 3 members of its wildland team to the Pike National Forest just outside of Colorado Springs. The department says it's not clear what exactly their assignment will be. It will really depend on where they're needed most. Their goal is to shorten response times and add manpower to the firefight. Despite the additional help for families fleeing the Aspen Acres fire, one of the hardest parts has been finding somewhere safe to take their pets. Thanks for joining us. I'm Kim Christensen.
And I'm Kyle Clark. 9 News reporter Colton Chavez headed south today to get an inside look at the Pueblo County shelter, now giving more than 200 evacuated animals a safe place to stay.
As pet owners, walking your dog is second nature, but knowing where to take them during an evacuation isn't so easy.
You can, as a human, go into a hotel, but will that hotel allow you to bring your animal here?
Nicole Michonne with the Humane Society Pikes Peak region
So proud of our team.
says families evacuated by the Aspen Acres fire can leave their animals here at this evacuation site in Pueblo County.
We're looking at a total of about 240 animals here at our shelter currently.
Nicole says every animal they take in is helping another family breathe a little easier.
And as soon as I was able to tell them, you can come to this address, bring your animal here, you can hear that sigh come out of their shoulders, a sigh of relief, like I am on my way.
Along with help from volunteers for the American Humane Rescue, Nicole says her team hasn't stopped working since the fire started.
As our team did, feel some of that burnout that first week.
She says it's a feeling they can overcome together.
And inside this facility, I want to show you something. I really like this. They have these poster boards all throughout the facility with supporting messages. And what it really shows is that even a few kind words can go a long way.
The biggest thing that I've realized is that it's, words of appreciation. So they're getting to see that job well done. And so I think it just continues to keep them going, keep them engaged.
So they can continue helping families who might not know where to go.
Anybody who's on it knows that there is no start and end time.
But know their family pet is safe here.
I think I look at it as a job well done.
In Pueblo, Colton Chavez, 9 News.
Scattered rain has returned to parts of Colorado, and that has helped clear out some of the bad air that we've been breathing in the Denver metro area. This is video of what it looked like in Pueblo. They're happy to see the rain there this afternoon. Nearby, the Aspen Acres fire area, the concern was mudslides, landslides, and the burn scar. More scattered storms are expected for tomorrow. Certainly, Kathy, firefighters will welcome the moisture, right, on anything that has not yet burned, and then as long as they're not getting deluges on areas that just did burn.
Yeah, exactly. One more day of that potential for rain, and thankfully no reports of damage, mudslides, or extreme flooding in that area, just that beneficial rain. And we're hopeful that we'll see some numbers in terms of containment where this rain has made a difference tomorrow. Fingers crossed. It is a calm night in Denver after an active weather day. Temperatures coming out of the 90s into the lower 70s this hour, and good air quality. While the wind is picking up along the foothills, it's calm here in the city, and we're seeing some thunderstorm wind gusts to 60 and 70 miles per hour out on the far eastern plains, where these showers are continuing to go. And we're seeing rain on the ground outside of Holyoke and down to Ray, moving into Nebraska and Kansas. Several thunderstorms dropped hail, and we had severe weather for much of the afternoon, but we also had rain, beneficial rain. And where you see the blue areas is where some areas saw a quarter, half, even an inch of rain. And that did include some areas in and around Pueblo and the Aspen Acres burn scar. Another round of showers is expected tomorrow, and Denver's included in that. And then we turn off the showers and turn up the heat. But again, great air quality as the heaviest smoke has pushed south of the area, and air quality alerts no longer in effect for Denver, but in and around the fire zones. Coming up, we'll have the timing and impact of the next round of showers and thunderstorms tomorrow, and a look ahead to that hot weekend coming up.
Governor Polis declared a disaster emergency this afternoon in response to the Ferris fire burning in Dolores and Montezuma counties. This comes on the day when new evacuations were put in place in Dolores County. Since lightning started that Ferris fire on June 27th, the flames have burned nearly 90 square miles in the San Juan National Forest. Tonight, crews have containment up to 19%. Here's a general idea of where the larger fires are burning around the state. As you can see, they're mainly focused in the west and to the south. The Willow Fire also saw new evacuations in place today in Lake County. The flames have burned nearly 7 square miles west of Leadville with 16% containment. In Uray County, the Gold Mountain Fire has grown to 49 square miles with 8% containment. Firefighters from 34 states are currently working those fires. And in Mesa County, along the Colorado-Utah border, command of the Snyder Fire was transferred back to a local unit today, with the flames 98% contained. The Snyder Fire claimed the lives of 3 firefighters and hurt 2 others shortly after it started. Since then, it has burned more than 47 square miles.
Aurora Mayor Mike Kaufman is threatening to shut off the water to Aurora Public Schools buildings after claiming that their grass looks too good for the district to be following drought restrictions. The mayor wrote on Facebook he's going to turn off the water because he drove by several schools and saw they had green lawns, which he says they show the district's defying the Stage 1 drought restrictions. The rules encourage large users to reduce usage by 20%. Aurora Water says 9 of the district's 61 schools are using too much water. The mayor claims the school district has been paying fines for the overuse, but the utility says the mayor is confused.
We gave him some numbers, and I think he misunderstood the numbers that we gave him as being fines and violations, as opposed to what we were really talking about, which was drought surcharges.
School district would not talk to us about this today. The district did say that it's following the water plan approved by Aurora Water, and the district says it is not aware of any violations.
The Denver Police Department reports crime is down for the first half of the year in every category except homicides. Compared to this time last year, the department says total crime is down 0.4%, while homicide rates increased by almost 37%. The department says it's pleased with the drop, but not satisfied with the uptick in killings. Chief Ron Thomas did not offer information as to why that number is up. Thomas says the public's perceptions of crime don't always match up with the data.
You get something stolen off your porch, or, if you walk by a place and you see open air drug use, I think some of those things that are not necessarily tied to violent crime, but certainly still impact people's perceptions of safety. Those are some things that we will be focusing on more intently in the second half of the year.
The chief went on to say there are several reasons why the overall crime rate is down, one being placing officers in areas considered to be violent hotspot locations.
The Democratic Senate nominee in Maine, Graham Plattner, is planning to withdraw from the Senate race following a rape allegation from a former girlfriend. A woman who had previously dated Plattner said he drunkenly forced her to have sex after she told him to stop. This was an incident in 2021. Plattner has denied the accusation, but he's lost nearly all of his prominent endorsers. Maine Dems now have until July 27th to choose a new nominee to face incumbent Republican Senator Susan Collins. Maine's considered a key state for control of the narrowly divided Senate. Denver school superintendent keeps trying to leave town, but he can't land a new gig. Last month, Dr. Alex Marrero told the school board that he had applied for a job to lead Miami's schools. Well, today, a spokesperson for the district confirmed Marrero is out of the running for that job. We're told Miami's board did not like Marrero's lack of classroom teaching experience. Marrero also tried and failed to land a gig leading Chicago's schools last year. Marrero says he is still, quote, fully committed to Denver. DIA has no shortage of mysteries, but there is one little-known operation that it's no mystery, it's no conspiracy. It is, frankly, essential to keeping thousands of passengers moving every day.
Tonight, 9 News reporter Evan Krugel takes us inside the ramp tower.
At Denver International Airport, millions of people move through the terminals every year, all with one goal.
Just get us off the ground. Let's just get out of here. I've been sitting on this plane for like 30 minutes, man. I'm ready to go.
By the time the plane pushes back, most people have no idea who's giving the pilot directions to the runway.
I have no idea. I couldn't tell you.
I would have no idea.
I figured it was the guys on the ground with the cool, like, you know, the neon things.
The answer sits high above the action in plain sight, in a place called the Ramp Tower.
Never heard of that, ever.
For Rick Graves,
Like, wow, what is that?
it's not a secret.
Yeah, I get a lot of that.
It's his office.
2185 still on ramp contact. Ground.
This is how we do it.
And hold short of Alpha 52.
It's pretty fun.
Bravo 04, Echo ground there, 0.85.
Every day, people like Rick help orchestrate airplane choreography,
Transition over to Alpha.
moving hundreds of planes from DIA's 172 gates to the point where air traffic control takes over. We can't walk past these lines on the ground because everything on this side is controlled by the FAA. But everything on this side, well, that's the responsibility of the ramp tower.
It gets very complex. It gets very busy. You throw in weather, snow, de-icing. All of those things make it complicated so that we step in and say, no, we're going to get you where you're going, and we're going to do it safely.
We welcome those challenges because we can get through them.
Jason Runkle is the senior manager here
And hold short of 44.
Denver ramp, they're on the push now.
and shudders at the thought of pilots
Now hold a beam.
not having his team around.
You know, if you have to reach their hands out the window trying to say, let me go first.
Jason says managing aircraft can feel like a video game.
Remember Snake on the old Nokia phone, where you constantly have to be moving pieces, and if you ever let it touch, you know, game's over. So
I don't know if he had that phone, but I had that phone, and I played the Snake game. I was working here with that phone.
And hold a beam Alpha 8.
Over 30 years, Rick has seen the airport grow up around him, with more gates, more flights, and more passengers to move.
But it really makes it interesting because it keeps you engaged. I mean, I've been here 30 years, and to stay in one place for 30 years it's got to be a good place to be.
Yeah, no problem.
For a team responsible for keeping one of the world's busiest airports moving, they don't mind staying out of the spotlight.
no, not at all. Right? We're kind of behind the scenes. It is nice in a way too, because then you get to explain it to folks whenever you're telling them about the ramp tower, and then they say, well, you know, where's that? Can I come visit? Can I do a tour?
That really speaks a lot to how well we do our job, right? Because they don't need to know.
To most passengers, it's a part of the airport they never knew existed.
Alpha around the frontier. That's pretty cool. It's like a secret agency in the airport.
Apparently, the secret is out.
So I want to see the tower.
At DIA,
Your push is approved, tail west.
Evan Krugel, 9 News.